27 Amusing Publications. I'm reading just one poem, but it is quite a long one. It was in response to some of the stuff around the referendum, this magazine that we're doing, like a sort of yes issue, which this may or may not be in, but it was the provocation for writing it. Poetry for a new ing. Word swords. Balance two words across a chasm or a street with maybe skills. Spear them, spiro them with fire. Fire them like lasers, intercepting ordered followers. Merciless, only called off if you want them to be. Comfortable, safe, unbounded almost forever, young and pleased with their ideas and with a love to enact them. Loneliness may be a backdrop condition. Lifecraft means to proceed by destroying my poetry ship. Friends didn't think the relationship was good for me. It didn't seem to them to be making me happy, but I don't know. I think it propulsed me, selfens me up, selfish maybe. Maybe they didn't like that visioner, but seems naive of me to think that, though they cared for me enough and saw that short-term some effects were positive. Roughing yourself, fall and tumbler. They don't say love stain fades. It does. We get clean again. The oil goes out, does come off eventually. That laissez-nous state. The first key I have been reading, latched into the surrounding words, that way of working brings the structuring thoughts from the page into its body like water, salt washing, spreading kitchen paper to uncommon more enclosures, all-consuming worktop. I've already been seen there, saturating ballots to dissolve control further beyond my control. Dilemma? I can't predict the prospect of public obsession about being on the crest. I have to face that there may be radical developments, the effects of which on conceptions of self-identity and self-control might be a private, present in all winning things. I say so because it seems to me the best and most fulfilling use of a lifetime up. Boxing, clang, 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 if it's about hurts. Sustained, then what's the equation line leads to extinction? Recession is only a word combo. Don't be frightened, therefore, off your form. Write lyrical ballads with a sliver, a thin glimmer, a threshold, sobriquet, a thin glim skin, wince at knockout, freehold. There's no need to be so bricky. The equate ability? Guess who Lisa isn't an exchange text game. Guess where I am right now? Scotland. Or guess where I've just walked to? She can't remember this. And when the person guesses, they go, won't say. I think this could be a fun notional framework for our wit, and when you say no, you have to give a reason. Play passes to next to feel yourself unhooked from me, and mine too slides the other way to explain the filled gap between us and how I miss you in theory less to run out from finite extensions of an expiring policy. Iain Morrison, exes take the best as pictures of us because we fancied them then. I don't say now what's wrong with me. The conquest self-presenting in the area of me, region, won't fit the frame I was given to reference holdings by. The dance of it, the sway of the body at 19, the swing of it inflamed bouncing from the low torso. Bum low centre of levity only, gravity not enacted, felt in yet. So much future one hopes for a taste, although taste buds are ready to long soon. High suns, that doesn't go, but is reconnected anytime happiness leans in for a kiss. One pleonastic day, who doesn't love a child? And then the drags of it are you, and the drags then you don't mind if you do what you do then if you lay out in the slipstream orgiastic. I miss out on their legal and illegal descriptions of my isothermed country body. The age of first opposition. Show me the accounts of all your Scottish Prince Jameses. Do the books make explicit mention of the medievalist twink slavedom? That would be a whole opera sutra. James the Fourth, James the Fifth, James the Sixth and First, ratchet there. You see, I can't see a histraught, dystoric Asian. The present is a guiltless space, only if it keeps a wiping malfusion of spectacles without me thinking of that importunate photo. I stopped waiting for your interior to breathe back statement into my house, soon to be dead to me designer, so that the space could change with you rather than without you. Slowing is my first indication of freeze impulse, of how I would love, how I would mother too, loving a journey set out for exactly my future. We try now my foot down on others' aisles and paths. I feel sick with relief of the would-be things, relieved of them as against my hope, somehow exacerbated by exercise, cramping abs, no fucking, a thing that's in a place that's meant to be in another place, dirty bum on soft furnishings. Why do we have a life that's one? I'm trying to remind myself that it isn't, you know, you do relate me to me. I am societal vandal. The Scottish summer wind is so freaking fresh. The political structurist plant is breaking into root. Song in my life, reality song. No longer will I, the avuncular leader, feast, fracture space, create a fracture space. Enforce me to fill it, me and other lads I don't know well enough to feel safe or comfortable with. I enter the teenage paradigm, welcome the intoxicating male lair. Den of impulse and parity, sex connects, equalizing, eyes windowing bodies, cocks at the o'clock, mouths lowering and leveling hips, throats open to excess expression. Berlin has taken me, I will think of myself no more dada. Possibilities enact, unsheath, unseat, unsock. Cry of the innocents. Performance idea for a staged wail. 30 seconds in the tunnel of the innocent railway, with the audience held back at the other end. I heard wail about you, so much changing focus these last few days, and feel not just my recovered ass, but my romantic heart drawstringing tighter. I have to accept this notch, that gall, in all their etymological Anglo-sonorism, even though yes, it is I that am galled, my community centre. Because I use you, I realise you are not easy to replace. Nights before going away, that tidying up feeling, an answer I know that will perpetuate itself and mark us with a flesh ruckus. With luck, I might get a whole performing leg intact out of the dodgy pump, #legwork. Sadness is also something that is dying. Postality, dismantle these emotions. My narrative slaking the air that's been trapped in a resealed lunchbox. No great incentive to breathe it, clean it quickly. This morning my unused penis attacking me and my fooey souped up values. The meaning of Colin McGee's book is it's given away to strangers in pubsness. It could be many other things that it actually is. Notice me, noticing it's hard to type the word baroque. Papering fingerwork seems a bit alien to my second key fingers. Also stop giving me paper. I ordered lifestyle. I love liquids. Do you love liquids? I love solids. Do you also love them? Can you speak only solids to me? I sat tonight, examiner in moonlit window, purchased flat out over scenic the Pentlands, real experience settling back on top of where in my excitement I'd blown it off from. I thought how I'd like to go out on the hills freshened, looking into the pity with improbably you. Be careful of his throstled neck. The musculature is winding down, the acrobat was tiring. I am enduring love. This leaving is rehearsal. For what? Each time. The reflux of wine in the mouth with the soft palate discerning urine and expecting a fight. Here, coming is rehearsal. To London with a newly declared bum result. To celebrate. It's the birth of a new Scotland. To celebrate. I'm spending a lot of time on trains this year, up and down, to celebrate missing borders. To celebrate Oban. A cup of buzzing, cussing, the wasp approaching the proximate part of a window partially open to this year's project. Party. I'm doing it, cousins. Coup sans. Scotland requests a poem about him, selfies and Dorian Gray. I feel it would be about our relative age difference, dated from birth or previous relationships, and make magic realistic attempts to mitigate foreseen problems that could arise. An aging selfie of me at the ballot box flashpoint, taken to keep me of age until he will catch, and then what up? Would it break down? Oh, come in me quickly, Clemens of cryogenesis. I thought about different ways of answering this ecstatic peace call. Abstracting lines from my Facebook friends' verbose statuses on the subject of the referendum, for example. Abstracting lives. That seemed cheats when I am seeding through this moment too as a living participant observer. So it's a journal poem, fashioned, worked extractions from my notebooks kept over the period of the Never Referendum. I've handwritten this in the journal too to be right to include it as a key that comes here rather than at the beginning, because that's my right to rule. The third key comes too late for this poem, for the reader, for I, writer, to fully structure the new poem around its nominal aspiration, which takes the strain only now at the end, as I decide it will be called something like Poem for to a New In. I'm using words like that these days. I'm sure I'm believing in inner peace. Thanks very much.